Welcome.
Not for the strong. They search for the weak, the lonely, the lost, the ones desperate to be seen. Your pain, sacred control, not love. It feels like safety, but it's a cage. Your fear is the faith. Hope becomes their power. Soul the prize. This is the warning. Trust no promise that demands your mind. No love should cost you everything. This is disturbed.
It always sounds so creepy.
I was just thinking this time, I was like, crap, I think I've seen every single one of those hairstyles at my local Walmart and
Yeah.
pretty sure at least four of the brothers. And then I thought, are the Hare Krishnas still a thing? I haven't seen a Hare Krishna in a while.
Yeah, actually, I believe they are. They sort of changed up a little bit, but yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they're still around. They're just not as prevalent as they used to be. Um,
That's on my bucket list to find one in an airport. Just
I don't
one.
I don't think they can let it. They're allowed in the airports anymore. Hey,
Okay.
Wes and Bama checking in via Rumble. Welcome, welcome,
Woohoo.
welcome. How you doing, Wes and Bama? Yes. Oh yeah, and so everybody, just so you know, and I'll pull up I'll post it up there and pin it up there so everybody is able to find it. But we will be going to Rumble here in just a short bit. Um, and
Yes.
this way Mo can tell you a little bit about what we're going to be watching tonight.
So tonight, this episode kind of digs deeper into a lot of the more serious allegations by former members of Twin Flame Universe about sort of coercive and kind of not consensual or very manipulative ways that Jeff and Shakray Cray would try to explain to people, like same sex, two women, because there were mostly women in this group, that one was a divine masculine and one was a divine feminine. So basically, when you don't have a lot of men to pair people up with, you decide to start telling people, no, you're not straight, you're not attracted to men. No, this is your new male energy, divine masculine person. Even with some, well, the like one same sex couple that they kind of touted as their big selling point, they actually encouraged one of the more, let's just say, tomboy woman to really adopt a male personality up to and on top of that to be or to answer only to the name Dan. Now her name was Anne. And while she had kind of followed along with this, divine masculine kind of thought process, she was in no way comfortable with actually going through with, adopting a full male persona. She was like, I'm a lesbian. I'm a woman who likes other women. Maybe I'm a little bit more masculine. But it was also sort of this very sort of 1950s, gender role kind of thing for all the progressiveness that Jeff and Shakray Cray, want to expound upon even in their same-sex couples with like the divine feminine and the masculine one was, made to adopt a male name, cut hair shorter, present masculinely. So it was a lot of just, again, kind of the play acting of a gender. Now, I don't know, and I don't know enough about the whole gender identity thing, but as a woman, I don't wake up every morning, thinking uterus, boobs, still a woman. I don't prance around. I mean, I feel like there's an inherent difference between, me and my husband, but I don't act like a girl. And I think that's what a lot of women and a lot of people really were turned off, especially when they're kind of coming at this from a very progressive, very left leaning kind of choose who you want to choose, be who you want to be, to introduce these very traditional, very sort of male female kind of gender roles didn't really jive. And just like everyone wants to find love, and I do believe that who you're attracted to is, something that's created and built upon, like when you're a child, certain things, certain things appeal to me, like, a good sense of humor, being smart, a little nerdy, understanding math, willing to drive on the freeways. I mean, I have a specific to-do list when I'm looking for a partner.
Yes.
But we all have people that we're attracted to, and this has to be one of the more evil things that I've seen. Again, I don't care if you want to make money, if you're willing to lie to naive young people, I still think you're grody. But to make a person lie to themselves and genuinely have, almost mental breakdowns because this isn't something you can choose. So it really bothers me that they're doing this and all of the pressure they're putting on very vulnerable people.
Yes. And I was, whenever I first was introduced to this twin flame stuff and hearing about it, I mean, the first thing that fired me off was like, this sounds like a cult. I mean, it wasn't that it was being advertised as that. I just happened, how you're scrolling, you get one of those things that pops up in your thing. And I was just like, what the hell is this? And I start hearing it and I'm just like, okay, it seems okay on the face of it. And then once you start digging into it, you're just like, that's a little stalkerish. I mean, that something's not quite right here. And then the more that I dug into it and finding out about people that had been formerly in it, I've found court cases where they've sued people. We actually have a couple of those. We may show after we're done with the video stuff. So what we do is, and I'll just explain to everybody what we do on Mondays is we do this Disturbed series. I sort of revamped it back up. Mo is my wonderful guest. She said, hey, we want to talk about this. And I said, that would be wonderful. And because I do like the longer series of these, and we're watching the videos that are out about this. There was one that was done on Netflix, one that was done on Amazon. I prefer the Netflix one a little bit more as it goes in. There is a lot of information overload.
Yeah.
This one is a good precursor, so you get an idea of different aspects of what Twin Flames is about, and it's good to sort of as a refresher or too long didn't read kind of information, because there
Yeah.
is so much information about this group. There are two genders, as Sir Patrick Stewart in TNG episode Chain of Command Part 1. Yes. And I don't like to, dwell too much on the aspect of how they're telling people to transition. And I think that it would, well, let me rephrase that. I didn't dwell too much on that because at the time that I initially did this, because I've already covered these before, you can go back like early streams. And I didn't focus so much on it because those kinds of discussions tend to, separate people for whatever reason, and whether I have strong beliefs against it doesn't matter. Just the discussion on it. There's people that stand on either side of it. And I think that we've moved on a little bit past that, where those things can be discussed a little bit more in depth without, setting off a whole, internet
Yeah, I
storm
think
where people are hunting you down or crap.
yeah, I think 2016 when this started and kind of was coming into light, it was a lot more taboo to talk about it. And now you've got people that are, just kind of like, okay, it's not our jam. We don't dislike anyone that does it. We'll
Right.
try to be polite, but, we're just trying our best here. So you're going to have to, throw us a bone. A person with pink hair, a beard, cat ears, and a skirt.
And realize that I will mock you for looking like that,
If
as anybody
if
should.
Shizzy doesn't, my youngest, most feral, will ask you if you are dressing up for Halloween loudly
Yeah.
in the Walmart.
I mean, if you put yourself in these kinds of situations, expect to be mocked. I mean, and there's nothing that prevents me from doing it. It's not because of you as a person. It's because of the way that you display. I mean, it would be no different than if somebody was walking around. I'm going to be judgy. Let's put it that way. You walk. It's not a skirt. It's a kilt. Well, and I would act the same way. Mock and harass. Mock and laugh and really give you a hard time, because if you showed up, wearing like a little Yahtzee uniform, I might,
My
might
name isn't
mock you
Prince
for,
Harry, and it's not Halloween yet, so
yeah,
I did take that out of the rotation though
yeah, yeah.
too soon.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. But it's and that and if you can't handle that kind of criticism on the way that you look, your appearance, then well, don't. As simple as
If you
that.
don't want people to stare at you, then why did you get 973 things put through your face? I know I
Right.
sound like my grandma, but I seriously am asking a question. If you, don't want attention, why did you put spikes on your head?
And I mean, and I'm not talking about somebody that is disfigured because, say, for example, they got in a car accident and you've got large scars. I mean, I'm not gonna mock you for that. I mean, but if you put, earrings through each one of the stitches, then I might mock you. Just saying, otherwise I would just be like, oh, dude, that looks like you fell down some stairs or something. What doctor went after you? Did you tell them that that's not how you're supposed to put on makeup? I mean, I would say things like that, but most people that are in that situation would have a good comeback and probably laugh about it. I mean, and it
Yeah,
can
I
be,
think
but because usually I'm looking at people, for what they have on the inside, not what it looks like on the outside. I get mocked all the time because of my height. What can I say?
well,
And
it's okay. I won't tell anyone you have a step stool right now. If you've ever seen toddlers helping in the kitchen in that little cube thing, that's what Shizzy's using right now.
booster chair.
Yes. But it also has, a cage around it. So if they don't fall and you can actually kind of corral them in.
Except mine's one of those what do you call it? Faraday cage. So I get electrocuted every time I hit it.
Your wife's like, look, I just want you standing in the kitchen and we can conversate, but I don't allow you to use the sharp objects anymore.
All right. At this time, we're going to send everybody over to a Rumble exclusive. The link is there, pinned up at the very top. And if you're watching on Twitter, you can watch this on Twitter also, or on X as they call it now. I don't know. I haven't figured all
Ooh.
that crap out. But we will be over on Rumble exclusively for this because
Ooh.
YouTube doesn't like us very much. So there will be a brief outro and then we will see you over there.
Not for the strong. They search for the weak, the lonely, the lost.